morning to you. If everyone's set up, I'll start. Got a little bit to release this morning based on some things that were uncovered last night and this morning. We had, if y'all remember, and I think this kind of floated around within the media for a while, this is a note that was left on the windshield of a vehicle down in Seavines during the night of the vigil. The note read, "This goes deeper than Dennis. Stay on it. There are more people involved." And it was left on the windshield of a Fox 28 WJCL recorder on the windshield on the car. We recovered the note from WJCL, and we interviewed a person last night and got a statement this morning that indicated that he, in fact, had left the note. His intent of leaving the note was to basically for law enforcement not to have or to lose interest in the investigation because of the death of Dennis Gerwin. Ned Nielsen is the gentleman that left the note on the windshield. He's very apologetic this morning. We did have to utilize some resources during the investigation to, of course, investigate this. We're not looking or seeking any criminal charges against him. We got a statement from him this morning. That case is being closed out. That report should be available on Monday, and that's all the new information that we have released related to that note.
Are you saying that the note there was nothing to it? That it doesn't go deeper?
It does not.
It does not. And so it was. And
it
any
was purposely left because Dennis Gerwin was deceased on that particular day. He just didn't want law enforcement to lose interest in the investigation because of his death, and that was the reason.
But he knew nothing else about it.
What kind of relationship did he have with Gerwin?
They were good friends.
Chef, what about some reports that the suicide note that Gerwin had may have indicated that he stole some money from Calverts?
All of the information regarding those notes are currently being analyzed at SLED, State Law Enforcement Division in Columbia, and I won't make any comments about those notes until that task is complete.
We saw some folks going through a wooded area out by the airport this morning. Apparently there's been some searching going on in various locations. What can you tell us about that?
All of the searches continue. We're still doing land searches as well as aerial views, not only on the island but off the island. The same thing I said yesterday, and they will continue throughout until we reach a point in time which we don't think are necessary.
Do you have any information that points you to search in any particular location?
We're searching locations. When we get information in that could possibly be a lead. In order to evaluate that, we also do a land search.
How much information are you getting? Is the phone ringing all the time? You're getting.
There's still a lot of information coming in. There's still a lot of people that we're interviewing, and we have many more interviews to conduct, and that's going to be ongoing.
How many people you've talked to, approximately?
And that question came to me yesterday, and I can just tell you that there are a lot of interviews that have been conducted, and a lot more to do, and that will change from day to day. We may get a lot of information today that will require us to go interview several sources, and we could do that, or we may not get much information at all, so that will change.
Can you clarify the death of Dennis Gerwin, whether you consider it a suicide or it's a suspected suicide or just an unusual manner of his death? What does that signify?
Well, based on the crime scene results, and I was there as well as other investigators, we have determined that the death of Dennis Gerwin was a suicide. We don't suspect anything other than that. But there are still a lot of forensics tasks that we're performing on stuff that we've recovered at that crime scene.
Do you think that was Gerwin? They've called him a person of interest. Would you go further to say that he may be now a suspect after a few more days of investigation?
We're still classifying him as a person of interest.
And you can't comment on all this report in the state newspaper about. He said that he was skimming money off apparently skimming money from these businesses, but apparently denied that he had anything to do with the deaths.
Well, it would be improper for me to comment on information provided by a nameless, faceless source. I can't comment on that.
Sheriff, the Calverts managed over 100 units. Have you guys gone from unit to unit to search?
We have. A lot of the units are occupied, and there are a lot that were vacant. all of those that were vacant have been searched.
And you said you searched wooded areas on and off the island, so obviously you're looking possibly for dead bodies. So do you have any reason to believe that they may still possibly be alive?
Well, we're looking for two missing persons, John and Elizabeth Calverts. I said this many times yesterday, and I have to say it again. We have to look at worst case scenario, and in doing so, we look at everything.
There's been some comments in the community just as we've been going around about how the season's starting to pick up with a lot of folks coming into the area, and they would like, obviously, have a resolution of this mystery before that. How much pressure do you feel from that angle?
None. I mean, I understand that. The community here is small, and we do have a professional golf tournament coming up here in the next several weeks. And, I think everyone would love to have closure on this case, but give you a time frame or even tell you if we're receiving pressure, we're not receiving pressure from anyone other than the media, no one else.
Do you feel confident that these people will be found, either dead or alive?
I can tell you that we're going to continue our search for the Calverts.
Can you elaborate on what kind of searching you're going to be doing today?
Well, a lot of it depends on the weather. We'd love to do some more aerial searches. We'll continue our foot searches, ground searches throughout the day. A lot of it depends on what information we receive as far as leads or even rumors, because we evaluate all the information we receive. So we'll progress through the day doing the search.
And do you?
What about the storage units?
All those have been searched.
We have a lot of interested people in this area that are hopefully that we're going to find these individuals. Are you getting calls from residents that are going out doing their own searches, people that are volunteering to just look around and start looking through their communities to help out in the investigation?
We are getting a lot of help from a lot of people, and that includes friends and family of the Calverts, as well as other people that live in the community that knew the Calverts, that were either associates or just have knowledge of the case based on what they're reading and seeing in the news. So a lot of people are helpful in a lot of ways.
Sheriff, you've probably done a lot of investigative work in your time. Just describe the level of frustration given what you deal with, the search for this couple and the lack of leads that you have.
Well, I think law enforcement in general we're kind of in a holding pattern at this particular point, and that frustrates all. We like you want to figure this thing out. We'd like to do it in a timely fashion. But when you're collecting evidence, or what could be evidence, throughout all the searches we've done and the information we're receiving, all of that currently is being analyzed. So our holding pattern is actually waiting for a lot of this to be analyzed, and the results of that task would probably, or it could lead us to other areas that we need to be looking into. But right now, and which will, let me say this, we started the press conference yesterday, we did it today, we probably won't do another one until next week, probably midweek, because we're waiting on some of the results from the state law enforcement. Once we get those results in and we can evaluate content analysis of the notes that were left and some of the other things that we sent up, I'm sure we'll give you more information at a particular time. But it would be premature for me to tell you anything other than they're being analyzed.
Are the notes definitely in his handwriting?
All of that's being analyzed.
They haven't confirmed that they are actual suicide notes in his.
We can't confirm or deny anything about those notes until they have gone through the forensics test and they go through statement content. All that needs to be done before we even take a wild guess. Even though I've seen the notes, I'm gonna let someone else analyze those notes, and that's what we're currently involved in.
Was there anything in those notes that led you on different leads?
Notes are still being analyzed.
Do you know if Kirby's code is search?
Pardon?
Do you know if Kirby's code is search?
Yeah, it has.
When you say the notes will be analyzed for content, I assume that goes beyond fingerprints and all.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe you can expand on that a little bit, like the way things are written to kind of maybe.
I'll be more than glad to answer all of your questions when those notes have been analyzed and we have the results that we need to have and make a response and have discussion on it. But until then, no.
Chef Tanner, a lot of people look at some South Carolina and other states not having the ability to take care of such a high-profile case. But could you just elaborate a little bit as to the technology and who you're working with in this case?
I'll try to be nice in my response. I've never heard that.